So let's go to the concept of file in Python. Now Python uses file object to interact with external files on your computer. So if it need any type of input from different files, which is other than program or the file output, it want to do the output into the file from the program, it is easily be done using the uh, file handling concept of the Python. These file object can be any sort of file you can have in your computer, whether it be an audio file, a text file, email, Excel file, etc. Note you will probably need to install certain library or module to interact with these varieties of files, but they are easily available. We'll cover download. Okay, module and all different module that is required like pandas and all. We'll see when we go into pandas, and we'll learn that different library related to pandas where we can have uh, where we can play with different type of files. But here, without downloading the pandas and all, we have in the Python we have uh, inbuilt library related to text file and all. So Python has a built-in open function which allow us to open and play with basic file type. First, we'll need a file, though we are going to use some IPython magic to create a text file. Let's do it. Now here, this is the way how we can write some IPython code. It is specific to the Jupyter notebook, okay? And it is not going to work in your any other text editor. It is specific to Jupyter notebook. In this, what we have done is we have created a text file. So we'll do 2% sign, then we'll write file and the name of the file. So here we have test.txt. When we write this particular line, it is going to create a file. So one file it is going to create, and at the same location where your program is. So, and this is what we are entering into the file. So, hello, this is a quick test file that this particular string will be there in the text file. If you are using this particular method to create any file, or a file is already there, you uh, want to create it again, so it will overwrite whatever you have written in the file. So the file value or whatever content inside the file will be overwritten. So let's run this particular two line. So this line will be go into the file, and this line will create the file called test.txt. The output that it is giving is overwriting txt test.txt file. If we'll go to the location, so my file is there here in this particular folder. If you'll see here, test.txt file has been created. And this particular file, when you want to open it, here it is written, hello, this is a quick test file. Okay. And whatever you have written, the cursor will go into the next line, and it will write the next line here in this particular location. So if you are writing something, and if you want to write again something, then you can write it. Okay. When I'll do that again, and when I'll run it again, it will again overwrite into the file. So this is my file. I'll just do it, refresh, just refresh it. See, these two line has been come here in the txt dot text file, which I have just created here. So this is how your IPython writing into the file method is going to work. Now let's go to the normal procedure. Python opening a file. Let's begin with opening a file, test.txt, which is located in the same directory as this notebook. So in this particular notebook is located in the same directory as I told you. It is in that particular directory. Directory means in this particular folder. And in this same folder, we are looking to open this particular test file that we have just created. Now what will happen is, for now we will work for the file location of the same directory as the notebook or .py script you are using. It is very easy to get an error in this particular step. So what will happen is, here the name is different, right? So if I'll use txt file, test file that just now I have created, now what will happen is, now it is not going to give any error. If I look for other file, let's say if I look for another file, let's say test1, which is not there in the same directory, it is giving you the error. Now, if the file is not there in the same directory, so it will throw the error. It will tell us that no such file or directory that exists here. So for that, we will go to the path for that particular location where we are. Let's say pwd will give me the path of my current directory where I'm working right now. Okay, from this you can get your path, or this will work in your Windows system, like this is your backslash is going to work here, and this particular forward slash is going to work in Linux or Mac OS based system. Now, so for opening, you just remember that file should be there in the location where you are opening. So here the test file is already there. So when I'll open it, it is going to open here. Now after opening, I will read the file. So for reading the file, we have a function called read function. So my file dot read is going to read the function. So whatever is inside the function is two line, right? One is the hello, this is a quick test file, and another line I have added is this is second line. Here if you'll see, there is slash n that is coming, right? So slash n will is telling us that it is going to the next line. Again, if you'll read the file, so we have read file once. Again, if you want to read the file, that is the output is none. What is the reason? The reason is my cursor is reading from the first line, and it is reading up to the last line. And right now my cursor is in the last line, and after that there is nothing in your file. So that's why it is giving me nothing as output when I'm reading it once again. So you have to put your cursor at very first. So if you'll see here, this is my file, and my cursor has been reading these two lines, and now the cursor is here, this third line, and I'm reading again. So there is nothing to read, right? So that's why the output is this. So that thing you have to remember while reading from read function. So for that, what we have to do is we have to change the position of the cursor. How will change the position of the cursor? With seek function. Seek will take my cursor to a proper location. So seek 0 will send this particular cursor to the 0th location of the file. So when I'll do seek 0, the output is 0, means my cursor is in the 0th position. And when I'll read again, it is going to read these two line again. So hello, this is quick test file and this is second line, right? Which I have already added into the file. Now you can read the file line by line using read line method, right? So we can read it line by line. It depends upon our requirement. So if my requirement is to read line by line, what happen is when we have a large file and that large file is very large and we doesn't have that much of memory space. So we'll read it one by one or read it line by line. So this read line will help me to do that. So for reading line again, I have to go back to the previous position. So I'll use seek 0 and then I'll read line. So when I'll run it, it will give me the type of list. So this is the string in the list of 0th position, and this is the string list in the 1 position. If you want to read what is there in the 0th position, so I think this is going to work. So if I'll write here 0, it is going to give me what is in the 0th position in this particular list. And if I'll write 1, it will give me the second position value which is there in the list. So read line will give me the output as a list. So yeah, this is how it look like. Now whenever you have done everything with the file, you have to close it. So close function is going to close the file. So I have to write myfile.close. It will just close the file. Now, by default, if I am opening the file, like with this particular line, like my file equal to open test.txt. So by default, it is for reading purpose. Okay. And if I want to write something on that, I have to use W as a indicator for reading, writing. So to open the file, text file again, for writing purpose, I have to use W or W plus. Okay, it depends which particular is allowed in your version of the Python. It may be W, it may be W plus. Now, when I'll open the file with W plus uh, specifier, so what will happen is my file is ready for writing also. So in my file, I can write. So when I'll do that, one more thing is that when you are opening a file with this particular write specifier, so the original file content will be truncated, meaning that anything that was in the original file is deleted. Getting it? So you have 2 line previously, now you doesn't have any line. See, you doesn't have any line. I have just run this particular line by opening with the help of write specifier W plus. Okay. Now, if you want to write anything, you have a function called write function. So myfile.write function, or you can say the method. Every functions, these type of function which are associated with any object and dot operator, we have to call it. That is called method. So this particular method is associated with file handlings. So myfile.write is going to write this particular line into the file. So let's run it. This particular is going to return a number. This particular number is the character number that we are writing into the file. So these many character we have just written into the file. That's why it is coming 18. So the length of this particular string is 18 character. 1, 2, 3, 4, then space 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So you see 18 characters we have added. When I'll use this particular write function, it is not going to add any slash n here. Slash n means this is not by default. You have to write it. Getting it? Let's say I have just written, my cursor is in the last because I have just written. So I have to go back into the 0th position and I'll read it again. So it will give me, this is a new line. If you'll see the text file, this is your text file. Just refresh your text file. This text is coming. See, this is a new line and it is not going to the next line. Getting it? So because you have not written slash n, this write operation, by default, it is not going to add any slash n or new line operator there. Then my file.close is going to close my file again. Now this is with the help of write specifier w. Now let's say if my file is there and something is written, like this is a new line which is written already in my file. Now I want to add some more line into the file. So for that I have to use append specifier here. Passing the argument a will open the file and put the pointer at the end. So anything written is appended, like w plus a plus let us read and write to a file. If a file does not exist, one will be created. So if your file is not exist, it will create a file. If your file exists, then it will go at the last line of the file for appending. Getting it? So let's say I have this particular text file which has already one line. Now I open the file with the append, and after that I have used this particular string to write. What is the string? Slash n. This is text being appended to the test.txt. Another line is there, slash n, and another line here. So you see here slash n has been used. So first slash n means it will go to the next line. It will write this particular text in one line. Then again it will go to the next line because of this slash n, and it will write this particular line into the next line. So it is going to write how many characters? So here it is saying it will write 23 characters here. Now we'll just, okay, so 23 character, I think this is going for 23 character. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Getting it? So it is for this particular write operation, 23. For this, maybe there are many other characters are there. So this 23 is for this particular line. Now I'll run it. So once I'll run it, I'll see the tst file. Just refresh it. Line should come here. I think we have to close it and then we have to open it again. Let's see. Yes. So now all three lines are here one by one. So this is the line which was previously there. Then I have used slash n. Slash n will take me to the new line and this line will be printed. Then again slash n, and this line is going to be going to write into this particular file. So this is how your write operation will be done with a. Plus is used for read also. Here also w plus, w is for write and this plus is for read also. I don't have to open the file for read purpose again and again, right? So I'll use a plus or w plus. If I'll use only w or if I'll use only a, I have to open the file for reading purpose. Now after that I'll go to the first location and I'll read my file which is there in my file. So I'll just read it in this particular. Okay, so right now my file has been, so I have run it 2 times, so it is coming 2 times. No issue. So whatever the content in your file is coming here. Okay. So say we'll just remove it. Now it is coming only 3 lines, but because my file is containing only 3 lines. After that, I'll just close it. So whenever my operation is finished, I have to use this close. I'll close it. Okay. I use the IPython code also for writing anything into the file and appending anything into the file. So previously, I have used this particular code without -a, right? But I am using this -a so that I can append it. So this particular text, these two texts will be appended into the file. Let's run it. Appending to the txt file. Let's refresh it. So I have appended 2 more lines. So 2 more lines are coming here. So you see, this is how your IPython code is going to work here for the append purpose. Now let's say we'll do some iteration. Iteration means we'll go through and see how we can read different uh, thing from the file. So let's say I am opening the file again and I am putting only 2 lines here. So I'll open the file and I'll just put these 2 lines. So in my file right now, I have only 2 lines, first line and second line. Now what I'll do is I'll read this particular line, this particular file line by line. So for that, I'll use a loop, that is a for loop. For line is just a variable. In open, I just open the file because when I'll use the open function, it is going to open the file for read purpose. So I'll just open it. I don't have to use this specifier, right? This read specifier. So that I don't have to use because by default it is using this. And I'll print this particular variable. So here in this variable, one line will be going to read first and then another line. So in that way, 2 iteration will be done because we have only 2 lines. And this will go up to the end of file. Okay. So there is a for loop. You just take, this is a variable. Line is just a variable. You can take it as a L also. It doesn't mean anything. So when I'll do that, it is going to print first line and this second line, which is there in your file. So I think you understood this. What we are doing is we have a loop. In this, we have a variable. Variable will go into this particular file line by line, and it will go, the loop will go up to the end of line. So at very first, it will go to the first line, then it will go to the second line. In that way, it is going to iterate into the file. This is nothing but a variable. So you can write a variable anything. I have written like this so that it will be more readable. Yeah, so this is all about your files or file handling related to a simple text file.